श्रीशैलेशदयापात्रम् धीभक्त्यादिगुणार्णवम् यतीन्द्रप्रवणम् वन्दे रम्यजामातरम् मुनिम् लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भाम् नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् यो नित्यम् अच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणम् प्रपद्ये लोकाचार्याय गुरवे कृष्णपादस्य सूनवे संसारभोगिसन्दष्टजीवजीवातवे नमः।
श्रीशैलेशदयापात्रम् धीभक्त्यादिगुणार्णवम् यतीन्द्रप्रवणम् वन्दे रम्यजामातरम् मुनिम् लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भाम् नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणम् प्रपद्ये लोकाचार्याय गुरवे कृष्णपादस्य सूनवे संसारभोगिसन्दष्टजीवजीवातवे नमः। या वृत्तिर्मनसि मनसा जायताम् संस्मृतिस्ते यो यो जल्पः स भवतु विभो नाम सङ्कीर्तनन्ते या चेष्टा वपुषि भगवन् सा भवेत् वन्दनन्ते सर्वं भूयाद्वरवरमुने सम्यगाराधनन्ते। So until now we have covered the commentary of the second sutra, and now we proceed to the third sutra. Before that, certain issues that are remaining to be explained in the second sutra shall be explained. So it was mentioned that Adil Prathama Rahasyam Tirumantram. I'll share the screen. So among them, that is the three Rahasyas, the first Rahasya is Tirumantra. So the question that arises is, why is Tirumantram provided or accorded topmost priority among the three? As I mentioned earlier, as per the commentary of Pranavana Mamuni, it says, firstly, Tirumantram is the mantra that provides comprehensive information about Swaswarupa, one's own original nature. And secondly, it provides complete information about the Tyajya and Upadeya aspects to be given up and imbibed respectively. And I will come to that later. As far as the Swaswarupa is concerned, it is to be known that it is Ananya Arhatvam, Ananya Sharanatvam, and Ananya Bhogyatvam. These are the three components that are involved, which help a person or individual soul realize his original nature. So the mantra that helps a person realize his original nature, consisting of these three components, is Tirumantra. So unless a person knows about himself, he will not be able to proceed further. In the sense, suppose I generally give an example. Is it possible for me to win the Wimbledon tennis title now? The answer is no, because if you have to start to aspire for winning the Wimbledon title, then probably you have to start training with a professional coach probably when you are about 3 or 4 years old or 5 years old. And you have to win so many tournaments, and you have to become a member of the professional tennis association or whatever it is, which is not very much relevant now. But you have to start at a very young age and train with the best coaches. And you also have to have inherent talent and you have to put in a lot of hard work. Probably you have to train for 6 to 8 hours or 10 hours a day and do all those things. And then you will know whether you are ready and whether you can qualify and so on. So Swaswarupa Jnana is very much important for every aspect in life, not only for attaining moksha or liberation. It is very much necessary for all the things that a person wants to do. Suppose even if I want to study at Harvard or if I want to study at Oxford, then there are certain procedures. Or even if I want to go to the US and study a master's degree there, so there are certain procedures. I should pass the GRE exam, and then there is a TOEFL test or something like that, and so many things happen. So first I should make sure that I know what my capabilities are. And unless a person knows he is well informed and correctly informed about his own capabilities, he cannot do anything. He cannot proceed further. So Swaswarupa Jnana is one of the most important aspects with regard to all aspects in life, especially a person who wishes to attain liberation. And that Swaswarupa Jnana is enumerated by these three components, namely Ananya Arahatvam, Ananya Sharanatvam, and Ananya Bhogyatvam. So unless a person, in the beginning it is not possible for him to realize this, but at least he should understand and accept that he will in due course realize, and he is of this nature. So these three aspects are mentioned, which are part of the Swaswarupa, are mentioned by the Tirumantra or the Ashtakshara Mahamantra, and therefore it has been mentioned in the beginning. Further, Swami Manavana Mamuni gives a very important explanation regarding why Tirumantram is provided topmost priority, in the sense it is mentioned first among the three rahasyas. So Swami Manavana Mamuni says, as I mentioned in my previous class, the pranava, which is known as the Omkara, consisting of three syllables, namely A, U and Ma, that contains everything that needs to be known or said as far as our spiritual life is concerned. So the expansion of the Om is given by the rest of the two words in the Ashtakshara Mahamantra, that is Namaha and Narayanaya. And then the expansion of that Namaha and Narayanaya is the Dvaya Mantra. And the expansion of the Dvaya Mantra is the Charama Shloka. So for those who are extremely well versed, even the pranava is enough. That is why in our tradition, the yatis or the sannyasins, it is enough if they actually chant the pranava completely again and again and again and again. Actually, that's a very huge topic as far as the Yoga Shastra is concerned. This is also associated with Yoga Shastra only, not that this is dissociated with Yoga Shastra. And the issue of pranava is very, very important, it's a huge or mammoth topic rather. Because the Upanishads, they speak so highly about the single syllable called Om. And it is equated, the sound itself is equated with the Supreme Lord. Whereas in the Yoga Sutra it says, Tasya Vachakaha Pranavaha. The syllable or word that directly conveys the meaning of the Supreme Lord is the Pranava. So it says Ishvara or the Supreme Lord is conveyed by the word, by the syllable Omkara or Pranava. That is why Patanjali in his Yoga Sutra says Tasya Vachakaha Pranavaha. And further he says the japa of the pranava has to be done continuously. So the pranava has been accorded the best, maximum status, and it is equated with the Supreme Lord himself. Though there is the relationship of the word and its meaning, that is the meaning and the meant between these two, it is also equated. So there is no difference between the Supreme Lord and Pranava in a particular state of consciousness that is mentioned in the Vyakarana Shastra by the great yogi called Bhartrihari, which I will not go into right now because that's a huge topic and not too much relevant now. It is relevant as far as we say that the Pranava is the mantra that encompasses all the meanings that a person who wishes to attain liberation needs to know. So the expansion of Pranava is Namo Narayanaya, and the expansion of Namo Narayanaya is the Dvaya mantra, and the expansion of the Dvaya mantra is the Charama Shloka. And this is very beautifully explained by Parashara Bhatta in this shloka. I will not go into the detailed explanation because that is going to come in future in the sutras itself. He says, Deha saktatma buddhiri yadi bhavati padam sadhu vidyat tritiyam swatantriyandho yadi syate prathamam itarasheshatvadhishche dvitiyam Atmatranonmukhashchenama iti cha padam bandhavabhasadoraha Atmatranonmukhashchenama iti cha padam bandhavabhasadodah shabdam narayanakyam Ishaya cha padadhishche chaturthim prasannaha. So the entire meaning of the Ashtakshara Mahamantra is very beautifully, concisely mentioned in this shloka, and also the specific role of each word, Om, Namaha, Narayanaya, there also A, U, Ma, etc., how these three have specific meanings, to whom it is targeted, or who should target which type of a person, should lay emphasis on which of those syllables. Then once again, the focus of the word Namaha, who should focus on Namaha? What is the focus of the word Narayanaya? And in Narayanaya also you have the Chaturthi Vibhakti suffix or the dative case suffix. So what that means, etc. So it means, to put it in a nutshell, it means that there are several types of adhikaris or aspirants. Some persons may have overcome their illusion that this body itself is the soul. Or some person may be still under the illusion, like all of us, who still think or who still feel that the body itself is the soul, but have not realized that they are distinct from each other. And even if a person has realized that he may think that he is independent and he can accomplish everything on his own, then what he has to do? And if a person feels that I am my own savior, I need not go to anybody else, then what should he do? And there might be some people who feel that, who have a lot of mamakara, in the sense that they are unable to give up their belongings or give up their inclination towards their belongings. Then what they should do? Which is the word they should focus upon. So the Ashtakshara Mahamantra, or the Tirumantra as it is known, is a comprehensive remedy for all those who are bitten by the snake called samsara. That is what is mentioned in another context. So this mantra comprehensively addresses all the issues a samsari or a bonded soul faces in his life, and how to overcome that. For that, what he has to do. That is what is mentioned in the Ashtakshara Mahamantra. Therefore, it is accorded the premier most status. It is called as Mantra Raja. And as I mentioned, it is this mantra that is further elaborated by the Dvaya mantra and also the Charama Shloka. Therefore, it is mentioned in the beginning. That's what Swami Manavada Mamunikan says. I will just read out the pankti. Ini Engara Rahasya Trayattilum Prathama rahasyam ஏதென்னுமாகாங்கையில் அருளிச் செய்கிறார். அதில் பிரதம ரகசியம் திருமந்திரம் என்று. அதாவது அந்த ரகசியத்திரயத்திலும் வைத்துக் கொண்டு இவ்வதிகாரிக்கு பிரதமம் ஞாதவியமான ரகசியம் ஸ்வரூபயாதாத்மிய பரமாயித்யாஜ்யோபாதே விபாகத்தை பரிபூர்ணமாக பிறப்பிக்குமதான திருமந்திரம் என்கை. There is one more very important aspect that needs to be noted here. It is that the most important thing a person needs to know is that what are the do's and don'ts. So that's what it says, Tyajya Upade Vibhaga Jnanam. A person undergoes bondage because he does not know why he has come under bondage. So it is very important to know, suppose in this birth, a person has some particular disease. So why does he have that disease is the question. The Dharma Shastras say, Janmantara kritam papam vyadhirupena badhate. In this particular birth, if a person has a particular disease, it means that that disease is a result of the sins that he has committed in his previous births. So what does he have to do? In the Indian tradition, we have, I will not go into that, that's a huge topic once again, because categorization of diseases is done only in the Indian tradition. The diseases are categorized as sadhya, asadhya, dussadhya, etc. Means certain diseases can be cured by the remedies. Certain diseases can never be cured by remedies. We come across several people say, we tried all sorts of remedies like allopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy and naturopathy and several other things, but the disease has not subsided. It means that such a disease is called as asadhya roga. It cannot be cured because it is the fruit of, it is the result of a karma, of a particular karma that has been committed in the previous births. And among diseases also, there are certain diseases that can be cured by medicine, and there are certain diseases that cannot be cured by medicine. That is why it is said, Tachantihi aushadhaihi danaihi japa homa surarchanaihi. So it's a 5-pronged attack to overcome the disease. That is, some diseases can be overcome by medicine. Some diseases can be overcome by charity. How this is possible can be proved scientifically, that I am not going to right now. So by charity, by japa, like of the Ashtakshara, then homa, that is offering, giving offerings in the fire, and then surarchana. So worshipping particular deities for particular purposes, especially overcoming diseases. So Dhanvantari is nothing but a form of Vishnu. So many a times Dhanvantari Homa is prescribed, or Dhanvantari Japa is prescribed to overcome certain diseases. Similarly, other deities may also be worshipped as far as the overcoming of diseases alone are concerned. So it is said, Tachantihi aushadhaihi danaihi japa homa surarchanaihi. So this is how it is as far as the Indian tradition is concerned. So a person has to, and especially as far as this samsara or bondage is concerned, this bondage is also the result of our previous karmas, and also the non-realization of the Supreme Brahman, had not having the sakshatkara or the direct vision of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, one has to understand that he is not an independent person. He, in the sense, this soul is not independent, it is totally dependent. It is totally subservient to the Supreme Lord. And he alone can actually liberate this soul from the bonds of samsara. This is very important. So all these things are actually mentioned by the Tirumantra. Therefore, the Tirumantra or the Ashtakshara Mahamantra has been accorded the premier most place. That is why it is also called as the Mantra Raja or the king among mantras. And further, Pranavada Mamuni says, Ittai mantram ingirade mantaram trayate iti mantraha ingirapadiye shabda shaktiyalam arthabodhanattalam tannai anusandhipparthu rakshakamahe. This is very important. This is a very important point. So Manavada Mamuni says, this is called as what is the meaning of a mantra? The etymological derivation of the mantra, word mantra is as follows. Mantaram trayate iti mantra. That entity which protects the person who constantly concentrates upon it is known as mantra. So manta is a person who constantly concentrates upon a particular mantra or particular form of a word or sentence. So such a person is manta. So mantaram trayate. So that which protects the manta or the concentrator or contemplator rather is known as mantra. That means when a person constantly contemplates on a particular mantra, it might be Gayatri mantra, it might be Ashtakshara Mahamantra, it might be Daya mantra, it might be Sudarshana mantra, it might be Narasimha mantra, or so many other innumerable mantras. Innumerable in the sense, there are several works in the Indian tradition like Mantra Mahodadhi. Mantra Mahodadhi means a huge ocean of mantras. So, that which protects the contemplator is known as mantra. Protects from what, etc. is to be explained later. How does it protect? What is the methodology or what is the means or what is the modus operandi in which it protects? So Manavada Mamuni answers this question. Shabda Shaktiyalum Arthabodhanattarum Tanne Anusandipparka Rakshakamahe. So there are two ways in which mantras protect their contemplators. Which are the two means? One is Shabda Shakti and another is Arthabodhana Shakti. So what is meant by Shabda Shakti? Shabda Shakti is, they don't worry about the meaning. They worry about the sound value only. So I will just give an example for this. And even Swami Vedanta Deshika has given a very beautiful example. So he has given a highly traditional example. He says, when a young Brahmin boy is initiated into the Upanayana Samskara, or initiated by the Upanayana Samskara, at the age of 8, he has not yet completed 8 years. So he is taught to go. He used to be, not nowadays, of course, because that practice is not prevalent now. It disappeared several thousands of years ago. But earlier we understand from our forefathers or from the earlier literature that at the age of 7.5, that is, it is known as Garbhashtama, before the age of 8, a Brahmin boy has to be initiated into the Upanayana Samskara. The sacred thread is given to him and he is initiated into the Gayatri mantra. And from then onwards, he has to go to the Gurukula and study the Vedas and the Angas for about 16 years. And during that time, he should actually beg for alms from different houses in the vicinity. So when he has to do so, so what should he say? He should say, Bhavati Bhikshan Dehi. Oh lady, please provide me with alms. That is what he has to say. But the boy is not taught the exact meaning of the words, their case endings, whether it is in singular, plural, or dual, whether it is in nominative case or accusative case or whatever it is, and whether the root or what is the root of the word they, he, what is the suffix, whether it is present tense, past tense, imperative mood, potential mood, etc. He is just taught to go to the house of a person, and of course, which type of a person should be, which type of a house should be approached, that is specifically mentioned. And there he has to address the woman of the household and ask Bhavati Bhikshan Dehi. As soon as he mentions these three words, the woman of the house will come and offer the alms to him. Alms is ALMS. I am sure all of you are familiar with the word alms. It is ALMS. So, Swami Vedanta Deshika says, even though the boy does not know the exact meanings of the words, their derivations, their grammatical aspects, as soon as he goes before the house of a householder or a grihastha and approaches or addresses the woman of the house and says Bhavati Bhikshan Dehi, he will get the alms. So his aspirations are fulfilled. That is, he has to satisfy his hunger. So he gets the alms, he comes home and eats it. So his hunger is satiated and his day is done. Similarly, when we call Shabda Shakti, so when the mantras give meaning by means of Shabda Shakti, it means one need not know what is the meaning. They have to just go and mention, just mention or chant again and again and again the mantra, even without knowing their meaning. Just they have to continuously chant the meaning. So we have a very classical example of a story, where it is mentioned that, of course, we don't have any very authentic evidence. It is mentioned that Maharshi Valmiki, who authored the Ramayana, in his earlier life, he was a bandit and he used to rob people of their belongings. At that time, the 7 sages of the Saptarshis happened to pass by. I am not going to the story, all of you know it, or you may read it elsewhere. So it is mentioned in this manner that they asked him to chant continuously the mantra Mara, not even Rama. So he started saying Mara, 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 Mara. It became Rama, 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 Rama. And ultimately he became a great sage, he became a realized soul, he had the vision of the Supreme Lord, he had the vision of Rama, and that is how he wrote the Ramayana. So he never knew what the meaning of Rama is, he never even knew the word Rama properly. So even though a person does not know the meaning of a word, by chanting it continuously, he gains the fruits that are acquired by chanting them. So if ordinary words have such power, what of the great mantras like the Ashtakshara Mahamantra? So without knowing the meaning itself, by what is known as the Shabda Shakti, one can attain protection of the mantra, or protection from the protection. He becomes protected by the mantra rather. That is for whom? That is for upasakas. And the means is japa and homa. So Ashtakshara Mahamantra japa every day, all of us have to do, all the Sri Vaishnavas have to do. Apart from that, it is also advised to do homa also if possible. But this is as far as this this issue, Shabda Shakti and Artha Shakti is concerned, it is universally mentioned that the Upasakas, just they are not worried about the meaning at all. By the sound value itself, by performing japa and homa, they acquire, they attain the required fruits or results. But as far as prapannas are concerned, they are not only, of course, even those persons who are interested in the sound value, they need not ignore the Artha Shakti or meaning. And those who are interested in the meaning, they need not ignore the Shabda Shakti or the sound value. Both can have both of them. But here, the means is specifically mentioned that as far as prapannas are concerned, those who are Sharanagatas, the Shri Vaishnava, those who have taken the Shri Vaishnava Diksha, they are interested in the Artha Shakti or the meaning of the mantra along with the Shabda Shakti. And the prapannas, what they have to do? They have to surrender to the Supreme Lord as the sole means to attain liberation. So as I mentioned earlier, what is prapatti or sharanagati? It is tvameva upaya bhuto me bhava iti prarthana matihi sharanagatihi. To surrender to the Supreme Lord as the sole means to attain liberation. So you have to, from the heart of hearts, you have to plead with the Lord, saying that you alone are the means for me to attain liberation. I don't have any other means. Anyatha sharanam nasti. Tvameva sharanam mama. So that is what is the means that a person becomes protected by the Ashtakshara Mahamantra. So that is by Artha Shakti. So Manavala Mamani says by means of Shabda Shakti and by means of Artha Shakti. The Upasakas, of course, Upasakas may also be Prapannas. Prapannas may also be Upasakas or both. But when we see from a different angle, they seem to be different. So the Upasakas are interested in the Shabda Shakti and they do Japa Homa, they will attain the same fruit. Prapannas are interested in the Artha Shakti or the meaning of the mantra and they surrender to the Supreme Lord as the sole means to attain liberation and then attain the required or desired fruits. So this is how a mantra protects a person who chants it, as mentioned until now. That is what Manavala Mamani mentions beautifully. So we go to the next slide. That is the third sutra. Before that, one more aspect needs to be mentioned as far as the second sutra is concerned. Shabda Shaktiyale Rakshakamam Japahomari Hadale Karyam Kullum Upasakarku Artha Shakti Artha Bodhanattale Rakshakamam Ishwarane Upayam Yendirikum Prapannarikku. And then the shloka is explained. Artha Bodhanattale Rakshakamahayavade Deha Saktatma Buddhi, etc. And then he says, என்று பட்டர் செய்தபடியே தன்னை அனுசந்திப்பார்க்கு தேகாத்மாபிமானமும் சுவாதந்திரியமும் அந்யசேஷத்துவம் ஸ்வரக்ஷணே ஸ்வான்மயமும் அபந்து சங்கமம் விஷய பிராவண்யமும் மேலிடாதபடி பண்ணி ஸ்வரூபானுரூபமாக நடக்கும்படி நோக்குகை. So the which are the impediments that prevent the individual soul or Jivatma from engaging in the means of liberation, that is Ashtakshara Mahamantra, etc. So Manavala Mamani actually gives a list of these things. He says, Dehatma Abhimanamam Swatantriyamam, Anyasheshattvamam. These three we have covered earlier. Swarakshane Swanmayamam is a very important aspect as far as the Shri Vaishnava Siddhanta or the Shri Vaishnava tradition is concerned. Swarakshane Swannayam Kudadi. A person should not even attempt to protect himself. This is well illustrated by a very beautiful story that has been narrated in our tradition. So we have to observe the essence of the tradition. We should not go into the nitty-gritty of the story. We should observe the essence of the story. So once it is mentioned that in Vaikuntha, the Lord Narayana, as we all have read and also seen many pictures, of course we have not realized that within ourselves. He was actually sleeping on his serpent couch, the Adishesha, and Goddess Mahalakshmi, the supreme Goddess Mahalakshmi, was actually tending to his feet. So immediately, all of a sudden, the Lord Narayana ran away without informing Lakshmi, without even telling her where he is going. And he went so fast that nobody could even say why he is going or even guess what he was doing. And then immediately, a few moments afterwards, he just came back as fast as he had proceeded, and he actually slept as he was doing earlier. Then it seems that Goddess Mahalakshmi asked the Lord Narayana, "What happened? Oh Lord, what happened? Why did you suddenly leave this place and go so fast? You ran away so fast that we could not even fathom why you are doing this." Then the Lord said, No, you please listen to me. A very interesting episode occurred. A well-dressed Vaishnava, ye kantalagna tulasi nalinakshamalaha, ye bahumula parichinnhita shankachakraha, ye va lalata phalake lasadurdhva pundraha, te Vaishnava bhuvanam ashu pavitrayanti. The Bahya Lakshana, or the external features of a Vaishnava, are mentioned as follows. Ye kantalagda tulasi nalina akshamala. So as Vaishnava or Shri Vaishnava has to sport the akshamala and tulasi nalina akshamala, the garlands made out of the beads of tulasi manis or tulasi beads and the lotus beads. And ye bahumula parichinnhita shankachakra. They should also have the Samashrena or the Shankachakrankana, Shankankana and Chakrankana, as it is done in the Pancha Samskaras. Eva lalata phalake rasad urdhva pundraha. And those who sport the urdhva pundra, or the upward chinhas on their foreheads, they are the Vaishnavas. This is the external Lakshana. Of course, internal Lakshana will be mentioned many times, and it is already being mentioned so many times. So such a Vaishnava who was well dressed as a Vaishnava, such a person was actually providing in an area where people, in a street where predominantly people belonging to other religions were there. So naturally what happens when what we call as a black sheep, or a person who is totally alien to that area comes, people become agitated. So, and those people probably belong to the fanatic religions, which I don't want to name. We have a very fanatic, or a few fanatic religions, which actually say people belonging to other religions should be killed without any discrimination or distinction. So, so they started to abuse him, and they also were about to hit him with stones. Then that person said, "Oh Narayana, please protect me. I have no other protector." So Lord Narayana mentioned to Goddess Lakshmi, "So since he called me, oh Lord Narayana, please come and protect me. I thought immediately it is my duty that I should go and protect him. So without informing you, I ran so fast to protect him. Then Goddess Mahalakshmi asked, did you protect him? Why did you come back so fast? Then Lord Narayana mentioned, no, as I was about to go and protect him, as I was about to reach and protect him, by that time, he had also taken a stone and he was about to hit his attackers with that stone. Then I thought, I have nothing to do hereafter. So my job is done. So I will not go and protect him, and I came back. So the essence of the story is Swarakshane Swanmayam Kudade. If you think that you can protect yourself, then he will not come and protect you. So you have to actually surrender before the Supreme Lord by all means. Kayena, Vacha, Manasa. Not only by just by your lips. Don't pay only lip service. By your body and by also your mind. By your mind, body and speech. These are called the three Karanas. So by all these three means, you have to surrender to the Supreme Lord, and you should never even have the minutest of inclinations that you can protect yourself, or you should also not even put in even a symbolic effort to protect yourself. Only then the Supreme Lord will come and protect you. So according to the Sri Vaishnava tradition, Swarakshane Swanmaya is a great sin. Swarakshane Swanmayaha. So if a person even tries to protect himself, then that is a great sin. And the Lord will give up his sankalpa or his resolution to protect that person. And he has to be on his own. So this is very important aspect. So that's what Manavala Mamni says here. Swarakshane Swamnayamam. And then he says Abandhu Sangamam Vishaya Pravanyam. Abandhu Sangam means he should not actually engage or have any relationship with those who are Nastikas or who are the non-believers, which will actually land him in great trouble, and he will also be not protected by the Ashtakshara Mahamantra. Then Vishaya Pravanyamam. He should not indulge in objects of sensual pleasures. That is also very important. So within the framework of dharma, whatever pleasures he can enjoy, he is definitely entitled to do that. But if he indulges in Vishaya Pravanyamam, so Pravana means one who indulges. So Vishaya Pravanya means if he indulges in the objects of the senses, then definitely he cannot be protected. So these are the things that he has to give up, which are included in the do's and don'ts. All these are conveyed by the Ashtakshara Mahamantra or the Tirumantra that we are actually studying now. So it says, Meridada Padipanni Swarupanurupamaha Nadakkum Padito Nokuhai. So it will teach him the code of conduct or achara. The Ashtakshara Mahamantra will make the person the perfect human being. His behavior will be perfect. He will be totally subservient to the Lord and his devotees and such other aspects. All these will get imbibed in him if he actually studies the Ashtakshara Mahamantra and chants it as per procedure. So these things are specifically carried out by the Ashtakshara Mahamantra, which is the most basic requirement for a person to attain liberation. And therefore this mantra is accorded the premier most place among all the mantras. Then with these words, Swami Manavala Mamani concludes the commentary on the second mantra. Then he goes on to the third mantra. Inimel im mantrattanude vaibhavattai vistarena pratipadikya Tiruvullam Bhakti Prathamam Idanude Anusandhana Kramakatana Mukattare in Vaibhavattai Arulichai Hirar. So hereafter, he says, Swami Pullalokacharya will explain the greatness, the exalted nature of this Ashtakshara Mahamantra. And therefore, he actually, for that purpose, he says, Prathamam idanudiya anusandhana krama kathana mukhattale idin vaibhavattaya arudichai hirar. So before that, he actually says how this mantra has to be chanted, how it has to be repeatedly. What is known as anusandhana means repeatedly going over it again and again and again in the mind. That is known as anusandhana in Sanskrit. So he says, the third mantra, Tirumantratnuடைய சீர்மைக்குப் போரும்படி பிரேமத்தோடே பேணி அனுசந்திக்க வேணும். One should, the literal meaning is very simple. One should have a great deal of respect and affection towards the Tirumantram, befitting its status as the premier most mantra. So I will just give a small example. Suppose, so since you all most of you stay in America, suppose Donald Trump is going to visit. So we all have heard what happens to the place where Donald Trump is going to visit. So for example, when he visited Gujarat or Ahmedabad for that matter, the entire city was sealed. The entire roads that he was supposed to travel were sealed in the sense they were not given nobody was allowed to enter those roads from about 12 hours earlier and 6 to 7 hours after he left the place. And the hotel where he stayed, the entire hotel and all the surrounding buildings are taken over by the Secret Service. And it is said that nearly 2,000 or 3,000 Secret Service agents, without revealing their identity, came there and they took over the place and all those things. So the United States is supposed to be the premier most superpower in the world today. And if the President of the United States is coming, the welcome should be befitting the President of the United States. That's what we say. Or suppose the Indian Prime Minister is visiting some place. What happens to the place? We all know. It is similar to what happens when Donald Trump visits a place. So here also it says, Tirumantratnudiya சீர்மைக்குப் போரும்படி பிரேமத்தோடே பேணி அனுசந்திக்க வேணும். So the love a person should show for the Tirumantra should be befitting its status. So what is the status of the Tirumantra? It says, Racho yajumshi samani tathaiva tharvanani cha sarvamashtaksharantastham yachanyadapi vangmayam. This is what Ashtashloki says. So Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharvana Veda. All these things are concisely mentioned in the Ashtakshara Mahamantra. And Yacha Anyadapi Vangmayam, every other literature that is associated with spirituality, that is associated with the Indian tradition, be the Itihasas, Puranas, Smriti Granthas, etc. All these things, they are Sarvamashtaksharantastham. All these are contained in the Ashtakshara Mahamantra. And the third reference that Swami Manavada Mamuni quotes is from the Vishwaksena Samhita of the Pancharattra Agama. It says, Mantranam Paramo Mantraha. It is the superior most mantra of all the mantras. Guhyanam Guhyamuttamam. It is the secretest mantra of all the secrets, of all the secret mantras. Secretest of the secret. Best of the best, or the best among the best, etc. So how many superlatives itself you use, it is not enough. Pavitrancha Pavitranam, the most sacred of this sacred mantra. and that is Moola Mantra Sanatanaha. And Swami Manavala Mamani also quotes one verse from Tiruvayamudi, which is Mattellam Peshiram Ningirapadiye. And that I will actually explain in the next class. So it is said, one who chants the Tirumantra should not be a dry-hearted person. He should be very passionate. He should have great regard and passion for this mantra. He should ensure that it does not fall into the wrong hands. I will explain this later. And it should be chanted as per procedure only. These are very, very important aspects, which we will actually study in the next class. I will just mention the panktis of Manavana Mamani and conclude this time. Thirumantrathunudaya endrathu thudangi, Thirumantrathunudaya shirmayavadu, Rachoyajom Shisamani, Athaiva Tharvanani cha, Sarvamashtaksharanthastham Yangirapadiye, Sakalaveda Sangrahamai. So it is the concise explanation of all the mantras of all the Vedas. Mattal Nam Peshiram Yangirapadiye, Gnatavya Sakadartha Pratipadhakamai. All that needs to be known is included in the Tirumantra. And Mantranam Paramo Mantraha Guhyanam Guhyamuttamam Pavitrancha Pavitranam Mula Mantra Sanatanaha Yangirapadiye. Mantrangalil Vaittukondu Paramamantramai, Guhyangalil Vaittukondu Uttama Guhyamai, Pavitrangalakkum Pavitramai Rekkira Gauravam. Shirmaikku Porum Padiyandade Tahum Padiyangai. So it should be befitting the status. What should be befitting? Premattode Peni Anusandhikya Venum. Premattode Peni Anusandhikyavade. Idil Anusandhikkum Adavil Shushka Hridayana Anusandhikyaya Dirkai. Idin Vaidakshanyamana Vaidakshanyajnanam Adiyaha Vidin Pakkal Tanakundana Premattode Guhyanang Guhyamana Vide Anadhikari Shavipadadapadi Mantram Yatnena Gopayet Yangirapadiye Peni Kundanusandhikai Ipadi Anusandhikya Venum Engayade Prakarantarena Anusandhikya Rahadan Ingira Niyamam Totu Hirade. So as I mentioned, one who chants the Tirumantram should not be a dry-hearted person. He should have the highest regard and passion for this mantra. He should ensure that it does not fall into wrong hands. That I'll explain later. And it should be chanted as per procedure only. So, the person who chants the Tirumantra or the Ashtakshara Mahamantra has a great responsibility. It's not as if some ordinary thing is given to him. There is a very interesting statement in Sanskrit which says, Mantre tirthe dvije daive daivajne bheshate gurau yadrishi bhavana yatra siddhir bhavati tadrishi. So what happens? Suppose a question is raised as to what happens if a person does not believe in it? What will be the result? So the result is as follows. Yadrishi bhavana yatra siddhir bhavati tadrishi. According to your dispensation, according to your belief with regard to that, you will attain the fruits, you will attain the results. Yatra yadrishi bhavana tatra siddhihi tadrishi. So it is based on your belief rather than anything else. And this applies to mantra predominantly. Not only mantra, but 7 things. Mantre, tirthe. Tirthe, for example, the Ganga. So, you go to the Ganga or Yamuna to take bath. So we say if a person actually immerses himself in the Ganga Nadi or the river Ganges or the Yamuna Nadi or the river Yamuna, the sins are washed off. If I think, oh, this is all some humbug or something that is cooked up by some people, definitely his sins will not be washed off. Similarly, mantre, tirthe, dvije, with regard to Brahmins. Brahmins means not those who are born in the Brahmin community, but those who are the Brahmajnanis or who have had the divine vision of the Supreme Lord. Such a person is known as Brahma, Brahmana or Dvija. And Daive, in God, and Daivajne, with regard to the astrologer. Once again, this is another very hugely controversial topic. But in those days, such astrologers used to exist who could actually guide the people properly. Astrology is not about predicting the future in an exact way, but only guiding the person properly with regard to certain issues that may occur in the future. These are all to be explained in great detail. I will not go into it because it's not directly related to this class. So astrology is one very controversial topic, but today more and even as science grows and rationalists increase in the world, more and more people are thronging to astrology also. So the mantre, dvirthe, dvije, daive, daivajne, and bheshaje, as far as the doctor is concerned also. Unless you have faith in the doctor, the disease will not cure. If you say, what is this bloody doctor going to give? What is he going to cure? Then definitely the disease will not be cured. And similarly with regard to Guru also, the Acharya also. So with regard to these 7 aspects or persons or things, the result obtained depends on the mentality or disposition you have towards that. Therefore, you have to, if you have utmost regard, utmost respect, etc. for the Tirumantra, automatically you will be rewarded according to that. So that is what should be the dispensation of a person, of an aspirant of liberation towards the mantra. Not only to the mantra, with regard to all these 7, which is not mentioned in this concept, in this context. So it says, Tirumantrattanudeya shir maithiporum padi premattode peni anusandhikya venum. So this is the meaning of this mantra as explained by Manovala Bhavani. So here I conclude this talk. So questions are welcome. Or interaction, observations are all.
Swami Namaskaram. Just wanted to ask, with respect to the last part that you mentioned about chanting should be by procedure only, which I know you say you're going to explain later, but does that mean that one cannot chant Tiru Mantra all the time, constantly throughout the day? Is it that one has to sit and do Nyasa and Achman, etc. before one chants the mantra? Is that what you're saying? Or can one just continuously chant Tiru Mantra? I know it's more recommended Dvaya Mantra, but can one not just chant the Tiru Mantra like that throughout the day?
As per procedure, along with the Anganyasa and Karanyasa, you have to chant it at least twice or thrice a day. But other than that, continuous repeated chanting mentally is allowed at all times. So it depends on your dispensation. So suppose you feel you are unclean, for example, suppose when you are using the washroom, you are not supposed to do. But suppose it comes voluntarily, then there is nothing wrong in that also. This has been specifically discussed. So even if a person thinks about God when he is in the washroom also, there is nothing wrong. Because even at that time, if he is thinking about God, or if the thoughts of God come to him, what is wrong in that? But
Perfect.
As per procedure, when he is supposed to, after taking bath, etc., then the rule or what is laid down is he has to do after bath every day twice, in the morning and in the evening. Other than that, every day, all the times he is ready, he is most welcome to do. There is nothing wrong in that. But that is informal, this is formal. Both are accepted, both are welcome.
Very good. Then the next thing is with respect to the statement about if one has the idea that one can protect himself or tries to even protect himself, that the Lord will give up all protection. First of all, how do we actually put that into practice in the world that we live in today? Are you saying that if someone is going to attack you, physically or something, you wouldn't try to protect yourself? You would just chant the Tur mantra and then take the blows? And the other thing is that how does that correlate to Ram Charama Shloka, where the Lord says, Tavasmiti Chayachati, that, once one says, I am yours, he will always give you all protection no matter what. So how can he ever withdraw that protection?
Protection. So the story, you have to understand the spirit of the story. So protection is of two types. One is spiritual protection and one is physical protection. So as far as mantras and all these things, we are predominantly talking about the spiritual life. So when you actually surrender, that means, so this is another very, very, very important and very subtle question. Because once you surrender, even do you have to also chant the mantra, even that is not required. So many people think we have become prapannas, we have already surrendered. So why chant the mantra also? So many people, many Sri Vaishnava Acharyas also say, no, even chanting is prohibited. It is totally incorrect, according to me. Even according to my Acharya. So protection, as far as protecting your Atma or protecting your soul is concerned, in that aspect, you should, that actually what happens when Swaswarupa Jnana occurs, that will automatically happen. So you will never think that you can protect yourself if you know who you are actually. So many times what happens, one aspect covers all the other aspects. But when we have to understand it from our mind, through our mind, then we have to mention it separately. So as far as our spiritual protection or the protection of the Atma or the individual soul of the Jivatma is concerned, there, once you actually surrender, then you will never think I can manage on my own. Because when you say you can manage on your own, that is the Jnana Marga, that I will take care of myself. That is why we have the Markata Kishora Nyaya and the Marjara Kishora Nyaya, which is the analogy given between the Jnana Marga and the Bhakti Marga. I am not sure whether you have heard about those two Nyayas or the analogies.
Yes, it's about the carry on.
So if you have heard about it, I will not repeat it. Or if you have not heard about it, I will mention it about it in the next class.
It's about the monkey and the kitten.
Yes,
Basically.
the Markata, the analogy of the monkey and its mother, and the analogy of the cat and its mother.
I'm sure it will be beneficial for others listening.
Yeah, so next class I will explain it.
Okay. So, but would you say that on a practical basis, we understand totally that
physical issue is a big problem. It's not so easy. But I would like to very emphatically say, if a person has really, really surrendered physically also, then definitely God will take care of it. We have several stories or instances that are mentioned in our earlier works to say that even physically also the God will take care. Supreme Lord will take care. Even if a person, he says, if he is really, really, really surrendered himself and says, today I will not go out to eat if I am destined to eat. If the Lord wants me to eat, the food will come to me. Definitely it will come. But he has to have that degree of devotion and dedication.
Faith. Mahavishwasam then.
Yes, Mahavishwasam. It's not, we cannot express it in words, to be really honest.
But can we ever really say that he will remove his protection? That like if we haven't had that full realization as yet, that we will say, okay, just like you mentioned, that if you think that you could protect yourself, then he will remove his protection, and that's it.
Yes, of course. We have. See, suppose you ask the Prime Minister to do something, and he has given you, yes, I will look after this matter. Then after you go to the Prime Minister and you approach the local policeman or something for the same issue. Then what will the Prime Minister say? Oh, already, if the thing is resolved by the local policeman, then why should you ask me? I will not help.
Okay.
Even with regard, you take a person like me. I am a nobody as far as the world is concerned. But suppose my younger cousin or somebody comes and asks me for help. Then I say, okay, I'll help you. Then he goes and asks another young boy to help him for the same thing. Then what will I say? If your young friend is able to help you, then why do you bring me into the picture?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll not do it. I'll withdraw from it. I'll not help. I am no longer prepared to help you. You not say it. So when that is the case with an ordinary person, then what is it with regard to the Supreme Lord? That is why I mentioned Supreme Lord, though he has no weaknesses, no doshas, etc., he also has some expectation. That is why I mentioned the instance of Putana, as I mentioned, as it comes in the Bhagavatam, and as it was explained by Vedanta Deshika. You were present in the previous class?
No, I missed the previous one, but I already listened to it.
So I was mentioning Ananya Arhatva is very important. So Putana came and offered her milk. She said it was for the sake of Krishna and Krishna alone.
Mm-hmm.
So Krishna partook and said he granted her moksha because Stanyam tad vishasam mishram rasyamasi jagat. He greatly enjoyed it because it was meant for him and him only, not for anybody else. So such a thing is greatly enjoyed, and I explained it in great detail when we offer fruits, etc., how it is offered. So Ananya Arhatva is one very important expectation of the Lord with regard to us.
Yeah, that makes all the sense. And that also gave me the realization why prapatti is also only once. You can only offer to him yourself only once, even though you can't really offer yourself because you already belong to him anyway. You know, but that proves again that prapatti is only once because you made it so clear that you cannot offer something to him twice. In that, it doesn't make any sense. But it seems also with respect to that last point that it's all up to the consciousness, that even though your consciousness might be at one time that you could have protected, but the minute you do take up that consciousness again that actually I cannot protect myself, the Lord will resume that position, isn't it? He will reciprocate with that you are helpless and you are taking his shelter.
Yes.
The other thing is about the upasakas and the prapannas and the artha shakti and the shabda shakti. Is it that you said both of them go hand in hand, or would you say that the artha shakti is higher?
Yes. Prapannas are higher, but that is why I said even if a person concentrates on the meaning, he cannot give up the word because the word and meaning are so closely connected.
Yeah. So would you say that
even that is why I said even though he may not realize the meaning, the word itself will give the required fruits or results. If he does both, it is all the more best, all the more the better. And one cannot neglect the other, though he may not focus on that.
And would you say also that for one who doesn't know the meaning, if he simply constantly chants, the benefit of it is that the meaning, the realization of the meaning will come?
Yes.
That's the other benefit. Yes. And is it that you're also saying that even for prapannas, that prapannas should also do japa and homa with the mantra, even though they want to meditate and concentrate on the mantra?
That is why Namanacharya says, it will all result in Bhagavad Priti or Bhagavad Kainkari. Bhagavad Kainkari Rupa, if you do, there is nothing, you can do all the things that you wish as the Bhagavad Kainkari. I will give a very simple example, don't mistake me. Suppose I come to your house and see you looking at you, if I say idiot, can you don't mistake? Will you get angry or not? I don't know what is the meaning of the word idiot.
Right.
But will I get the result? That is, you are angry upon me.
That's a very
Will it
That's a
happen
very
or
good
not?
example.
So that is in a negative way. So in a positive way, this happens.
That's a very good example. And you mentioned last time about then that still even for Prapannas, one has to do Purashcharana of the mantra. So is it that later on you'll explain to us that how one is supposed to do that and why as Prapannas we are supposed to do that if it is that way of
No,
one?
it is not like it is like this. Prapannas cannot help not doing it. Automatically they will indulge in that. So it's not that you are actually ordaining or ordering a person. So we call it as Ragata Prapta in Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, in the Shastras, especially in the Mimamsa Shastra, there is an example. So is there any rule in the constitution that if a person is hungry, he should consume food? Should the government make a rule like that?
I don't think so.
Because it's the instinct. It is human.
It's natural. Yeah.
It is human instinct that a person consumes food if he is hungry. Even a young child cries for food when it is hungry.
Yes.
So this is known as Ragata Prapta or instinctual. So for instinctual aspects, there is no rule or any constitutional order is not required or the court order is not required.
Yes.
So similarly, a Prapanna, when he surrenders to the Lord, he will do all sorts of things like mantra, or Tiruvaradhanam or whatever it is, depending upon his own dispensation, to the Supreme Lord voluntarily. Or when in a higher stage, involuntarily. Without he himself knowing also, he will be doing everything associated with the Lord himself. So at that time, it becomes instinctual, like eating, having food, etc. That Prapanna should do like this, Prapanna should do like that. There is no need of an order or no need of any instruction to do that.
And thank you very much. I wanted to ask one more thing that we were discussing just this week, myself and Keshava Swami, and it was asked also to Dr. Tirunarayanan. It's with respect to Bhakti Yoga and Prapatti, that we read in many books that Bhakti Yoga is only for male Trivarnikas from a Sri Vaishnava point of view. Whereas we see from other sampradayas, like for instance the Gaudiya Sampradaya and other sampradayas, Bhakti Yoga, they say is highest and it's for everyone to perform Bhakti Yoga. Why it is that Sri Vaishnavas only say that it's for male Trivarnikas, that they alone can perform Bhakti Yoga, whereas that everyone else should do Prapatti?
No, I don't agree with that view. Where is it mentioned that only Trivarnika should do Bhakti Yoga?
Oh, well, we've read it in different books, but maybe...
Please give me the reference, then I will see and do it. Because I'm not familiar with such a view. So
okay,
please
that's
give
great.
me that reference, I'll see and then it.
Okay, I'll do. Maybe Keshava Swami may have some that point also of other place where he has read.
I don't think it is mentioned specifically anywhere that Bhakti Yoga is only for Trivarnikas.
Because Krishna himself doesn't say that in Bhagavad Gita.
Where has it mentioned? Where?
Well, I'm reading one book by Dr. Umakantam right now, and he mentions that in his introduction
I
also.
want the original verse. I don't.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't find a pramana of it, but apparently that's what I've also heard. Keshava Swami, you have any other?
We cannot rely on some person, Umakantam or XYZ, to answer that question. If there is any specific pramana that is authentic or acceptable, then I can answer the question.
Okay, perfect.
If you
Thank
find
you very much.
Because even I don't subscribe to the view because I have not come across such a view anyway.
Okay. Thank you very much. If anybody else has any questions.
Most welcome for the interaction.
Swami, thank you very much. I think we kept you for a long time. I had a few questions, but maybe some other time or...
We can have one question answer session itself probably on a Friday night or something like that.
Right.
If you are free, then we can have it next Friday night. You please let me know earlier itself.
Yeah, one quick one though. I just wanted to know because it seems that one should not chant. You said one should not chant your mantra loudly.
That is, no, it's not like that. There is mantras can be chanted in 3 types: Uchchaihi, Upamshu, and Manasam.
Yes.
So Uchchaihi is loudly. Upamshu is like whispering. You see only the lip movement, not hear it. And then Manasam is totally mentally chanting. I'll explain it in another session. But it's very important. We will discuss that separately.
Mm. So to just
all three methods of chanting are there. They are allowed. But when, etc., that we have to discuss.
Right. I think we need some more time, because I wanted to ask about the fact that you said you defined as mantra as that which protects the person. But then we also say that we shouldn't seek protection.
You shouldn't seek, but it will automatically protect you.
Right.
You don't chant it with the idea of seeking protection, but automatically you will be protected. So we will have another interaction separately where all the questions you can list them and we can discuss. Probably one separate session we can have. Shishailesh Patram Bhaktyadi Gunarnavam Yatindra Pravanam Vande Ramyaja Mataram Munim